guys, welcome back to our channel. Right here, for the sake of argument, it's a 72 Karmann Ghia because I actually don't know the year of it. And, well, it's had a facelift or downgrade. Different front end than a 72, but the taillights go with 72. But anyway, digressing, regressing. This car's in here for, I don't want to call it a flipper special, but a flipper special. Owner of the car, bought the car, got it painted. This is fairly fresh paint job on it. Just wants it basically running, driving, mechanically sound, and, you know, kick it down the road. So, not much to do on this car. It is pretty well okay. Few things I don't like to hit my standards for the most part, kind of why it's here. Got to redo the fuel system in the back. It apparently surges when you drive. Could be related or unrelated, but you'll see why we're redoing the fuel system. And what? Brakes, got to adjust them, or at least the pedal, because it goes really far down. He panic stopped and sent both the pedals to the bulkhead. So I think he might have bent something or broke something. We'll figure that one out and adjust the gas pedal because, well, he also stretched the hell out of that cable. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it for this intro. Basically, I'd like to say it's quick, but it's probably going to be 2 episodes on this one. One just going through the engine, and other one going through my favorite thing because I'm going to save it for last, you know, suspense, the electrical. Pretty much electricals, everything works as far as I know. We'll go through and make sure that is the case, but it has aftermarket gauges that got to get wired in, and, well, yay. So, with that said, let's do engine stuff first because, again, I like doing that. Hello. Anyway, this is what we're doing with the fuel system. You know my my big gripes about fuel filters in here, but slightly off camera. Fuel pump is also in here, and what makes that better is, excuse me, what makes that better that the fuel filter is back here, and I'm being facetious. It's leaking. I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera. But yeah, this pump is leaking fire starter. So yeah, that's going to go away. It's going to get a new pump. We're going to do what I normally do: throw it under the front beam or under the front tank. Pumps, better pullers than pushers. Reverse that: better pushers than pullers. So putting it under the tank, you're also getting the boost of the gravities feeding the pump. Everything else looks pretty all right. It is, from my understanding, a fairly new engine. Rebuilt, what have you. That's spring-loaded pushrod tubes. I mean, that's cool. Doesn't mean it's a good rebuild or a bad rebuild. I don't know why you would use them instead of the solid ones on a rebuild. But you could, just looking at it, it definitely lower mileage on this rebuild. Nothing's managed to leak anywhere. It's a fuel injection block. So later 70s dual port. Everything looks good, fairly new and fresh. I see green wire. We're probably still running points. I haven't even looked at this car, to be honest with you. Yeah, we still got points down there. Distributor can be the issue with the surging. If you watch, you would think the advance is working. until you can rotate it back. So it's not doing its full potential. All right, so we'll throw a new distributor in. I'll probably just throw in a vac advance. I think I actually have one laying around somewhere, which is fine. Go electronic, get rid of that. Wiring, whoever did it, nicely. Zip tied the crap out of everything, so that's good. Oh, I don't know if you saw it when I looked, but let's get down there. There's no nut on the distributor drive. This is this might be the issue. All right. So the advance I can work with being broken, not returning all the way. You can kind of cheat it and get it dialed to where you need to get dialed. It just depends how far back it's not going. It's going to go electronic. It could be the point side of adjustment, so on and so forth. I'm not too concerned with the distributor because it does have advance. It's just a little lethargic going backwards. What you can't have is the distributor actually also changing timing. Yeah, I can pull that dizzy straight out of there if I wanted to. Not going to, but I could. Wires look new. Carburetor looks new, so on and so forth. But regressing my little rant of whatever the hell I was ranting about, I have to start off by doing the funnest thing ever. I hate when people use the breathers. We're going to keep it because, I mean, why would I take it off? Anyway, also I hate those air filters. This is going great. This is great content. I am a content creator. Anywho's, first thing I'm going to do is actually start draining this fuel system. And I am going to do it like the lazy person I am, knowing that we're replacing everything. And I don't feel like messing with the hood currently. Now, if I have to get under there right now, I'm going to have to. You'll see when I decide I want to mess with the hood. It's screwed up. And not like good screwed up, like bad screwed up. So, how's that going for it? Also, all this German fuel line, you hear me complaining every video. I was going to say another word. It's terrible. Yeah, pretty much all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cheat this system. Give me 1 second to get some cheater stuff. All right. I have a battery charger on here. And I'm only doing this because I'm going to use, I don't know, 0.27% of my effort combined with 63% of my cares, just due to the fact that this fuel pump's going somewhere. I'm going to run the fuel pump and actually pump down the system. Just because, like I said, that pump's not going to live here. So, well, if it burns out, it burns out. Better now than not now. Or reusing it, I guess, is what I'm getting at. Yeah, this is probably also one of the fun things with all this stuff is figuring out with what all the wires on here do, because we have a bunch that I'm not going to say shouldn't be on here, but are interesting that are on here. I got a red and a black. Is that the hot side of the coil? Yeah. Okay. Hold, please. Let me get this cap back on so I can see things. All right, I got a red and a black to the hot side of the coil. I don't know what either of them does. All right, and then we got the original ignition system on the back. So I got a new red and black to the hot. I got the 12 volt to the choke and all that stuff, yellow wire. Let's see. Original ignition source and tail lights or reverse lights. This thing has reverse light? Yeah, it's here. I'm used to the bumper mounts. The bumpers are throwing me. Well, also the tail lights. I'm going to say that this red wire, I don't know what the black wire does. It's powering something. Someone added it. It's in this loom that someone ran. I say that's the fuel pump. I don't see why they'd be pulling it from somewhere else. So I'm going to do something highly educated and stupid at the same time. I'll leave that connected. The highly educated and stupid is I'm going to clip 900 zip ties. I'm happy this is zip tied and not electrical taped all the way down. Much easier to split a harness or to go fishing in a harness. That should be enough to get me the wires I need to get. There's a white wire in the negative. I already know this car has a tach, so I mean that's not a surprise. I'm just after these two wires. Hey, I don't know what the other wire does, but it'll run what I need to run. I'm not going to turn the key on. Basically, I'm hot wiring that fuel pump. Doing it this way. Just got to wedge a wire precariously in there. Then I could jump the pump with I'll get that off later. But that fuel line's garbage to me. Yeah. Cut that. Get a gas tank. I know, more riveting content out of me. As Mike Finnegan would say, it looks like Ray Charles welded these hinges with his feet, or these gas strut things. They're interesting welded. We'll just put that into there. Do the right thing, take my hot wire. I can also see what else this powers. But the pump is pumping. It's going to drain down the tank. See? Maybe not, but it's pumping. This is either going to be faster or not faster than opening the entire system. But it's filtered. So let me drain this system down. I'm actually going to walk around and see what else might have turned on, because like I said, there's a red and a black there, and I don't know what else this is powering. Someone ran those wires, so something's going to probably be turned on. I'll be back after this thing's done and we can start moving a pump. Focus. Thank you. Anyway, real quick, I only have this jumped in, so it's isolated from the ignition side of everything. So however this car is wired, it's technically on right now, ignition hot wise, and I know the key's not on. Key's out. So something's wired some way that it's because the fuel gauge is active, and the blinkers are working, at least clicking. I don't know about the front. Yeah, front works. Rear's working. So yeah, the ignition is currently hot, which it shouldn't be, because I do not have the front's blinking. Key's not on. That shouldn't be a powered circuit, but however they have it tied in is backfeeding something else. So, that's cool. Anyway, laying a drain, and I'll be back. I'm actually seeing how that fuel gauge is active. Gonna see how accurate it is. It is coming down, so I mean, it's working. I honestly don't know what we started at, but I think it was at 3/4 when we started, and it's coming down to half. I mean, that's how, gauges work when you lose fuel. So we'll see where we're at. But yeah, it's right about 3/4 right now, a little under. All right, guys, step 1 done. Fuel tank is drained. In all seriousness, because I'm a planner, I could have had this pump already basically plumbed, wired in, and ready while I was waiting, but I didn't think of that till this moment. So yeah, I wasted about 15 minutes. Anywho's and ways. Get this wheel off. I'm gonna actually pull the other wheel because I want to limit myself into wiring I'm gonna do. Hello, compressor. Let me check something real quick. How do the brakes look? It's not like we're going to do anything. The brakes all around this car look brand freaking new. Nose definitely had a nose job. Fresh air ducts look good. Yeah. Anywho's, what I'm going to do, or the plan is, I'm going to reconnect the wire I just unconnected and make sure that the brakes are wired correctly, because when you're key on, you should get 12 volt to the brake pedal. Key off, you don't. So what I'm going to do is just going to feed the fuel pump off the brakes. This way I don't have to get up into there, because that's going to be another mess. Give me 1 second. Let me test this out. Should be a decent theory of mine. Can't remember if I've ever done it or if I've only thought about doing it. Anyway, I'll be right back. Well, by a sheer fluke, I don't think that's going to work, and I think we need brake light switches. Oh, please. But they have their boots on them, and yeah. That's the brake light switch boot. It's full of fluid. Huh. The other one just as good. The other one looks wet as well. It's so slippery. Get off. Yeah, this one's soaked too. Yeah, hold on. I wish I could say I staged this, but I didn't. That's coming out of the brake light boot for the switches. They're not supposed to have fluid in there. All right, so we found, this is what happens when I open Aunt Dora's box. We find things. That's not an insignificant amount that just dumped on the floor. Like I said, he was complaining about brakes. I've never seen 2 switches go kaplooey. All right, what I'm going to do is, maybe they're not a problem. I'm going to hose them off and see if they drip. Well, with the boots off, obviously. They can just hang out and not do anything now. Both those switches look brand new, so I don't know. I don't want to touch it. The only options I'm doing right now is hosing them off, see if they leak. If they leak, we're replacing them. I'm not going to try to tighten them. I'm not going to try to do anything else. We're just going to do a swap out. Because they, well, shouldn't leak. Huh. Weird. Oh, brake clean. Like I said, this car looks like it has a brand new braking system in it. Like the rear shoes, you can tell they're new. The front are obviously look pretty new. All the lines are new. This master looks new. I'm definitely overkilling it with the brake clean, but I don't care. I just want to make sure that we got everything off, because if there are any drips, I want to be 100% sure for a change that it is coming from there. I really don't mess around with brakes. All right. I don't know what's in the reservoir, but we'll find out. All right, those two harnesses I can hose out just to get them clean. This is a fun thing with cars. You do stuff, and well, they find ways to reward you in other ways, like doing stuff you don't want to do. But digressing, regressing. I still want to do what I was going to do. Yeah, this is like a new wiring harness. This isn't the original wires, I'll tell you that much. We may not be doing what I was going to do, because I don't want to hack up a new harness. Yeah, that's been leaking for a while. Those terminals have the green death on them. Corrosion. Yeah, I'll run a new wire. I was, like I said, because when you get key on, you get power to those terminals for your brake lights. They're not constantly on. So I was just going to loop them, go from there to the pump. But because issues and developments, we're not doing that. We're going to do what I was going to do originally, and ignore that problem and put the pump where it was going to go. I just have to get under the, I just got to get under the hood, which I'm not looking forward to. Trunk, what have you. The front of the car. I'm on the wrong side of the car. I got to go down. Test the pump real quick. We got a battery back here, or a generator. Pump works. If you watch my bus video, you know why I test these now. It's going to live where I usually put them, down there in the frame. I'll show you the aftermath. But yeah, let me disconnect this fuel line, run all this stuff, and I'll be back to you with the struggling of getting a hood open. You know, every 5-minute job is the best 5 hours of your life. All right, guys, fuel pump's in and plumbed. I just have to wire it, which is going to be fun. You're going to see why. But yeah, it just lives down there. If you watch my other videos, you know what I do. Nutsert on the bottom, so it's removable from the top. You don't really have to get under the car, and it's nutsert on an exposed bottom. So just in case it spins, you also can get vice grips on it. But fuel filters up there, so on and so forth. Now it's going to be the fun part of trying to get this hood open. Let me show you why. When the owner dropped the car off, he said it was screwed up. I also confirmed it was screwed up. And then trying to pull it up, it proceeded to mess up the paint job that's on the car. Which honestly, it's, you know, sucks, but it's going to happen regardless. You got to get the hood up. Apparently what happened to this thing is he was on the way to the person that painted the car, and well, it flew up. The guy that painted the car just did like a cut and sanded and painted it, I guess. But yeah, this hits back here because the hinge is all screwed up. And yeah, the paint is rolled up on that edge. I can bring in, but take my word for it, it's screwed up right there. Anyway, I now have to try to get this hood open because looking under it, it does have a jacked up hinge. It was never opened when it was painted. I can see that because of the way that it is. I have to try not to screw this hood up anymore. But also, get it up. The other hinge looks good. Or good enough. I'm just hoping these bolts are loose. Or loose enough, which that one was. I'm trying to do it as minimal as, well, the least amount of damage that I can. Because, oh, that's not attached, that's great. Because, yeah, it's bad. Wow, it took a hit. All right. The springs are not attached. I have to be semi-careful with this thing. He said he was taking it back to the dude that painted it to get it touched up or fixed or whatever he's going to do. And our brake reservoir is basically empty. So that confirms that we have leaky brakes, most likely the wheel cylinders. Or not the wheel cylinders, the switches. But yeah, this hood hinge is freaking mangled. Yeah, like I said, apparently the hood flew up and, well, this thing is just twisted beyond all belief. So I got that going for me. I got to figure out, well, it looks straightenable. This one's screwed up as well. Doesn't look as bad. Helps if they were in the right direction. I might be able to pop that one in. That hinge is just no good. But I'll try to straighten it the best as I can, and kick it down the road. It's not really in here for any of that. Yeah, this is a new wiring harness in the car. I have to figure out what the hell is feeding the 12 volt. And just feed 12 volt to the Keon 12 volt. I got to figure out that. Gauges don't have any lights in them. So it has that going for it. Good. I think that's the tap. No, that's the fuel gauge. That fuel gauge is weird. Excuse me, I got the burps now. The wiring's going to be a mess. Not really, it's just going to be annoying. Yep, this hinge, again, not a fan of. It is severely, pardon my French, effed up. Where it attaches, it's so jacked up, I don't even know if we'll be able to get it out. I don't know if I'll be able to remove it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Or if I could just bend it into submission enough, I can be happy with it. Probably just going to beat the crap out of it and see what happens. That's literally my expert diagnosis right now. Because here's the thing. It's not in here for body work. All right, this is not helping. Where this paint is peeling up, right here. All the way along this lip. That's all putty. Let's see if I can get a shadow. I don't know if you can see, but that's an actual, that's like a 1/4 inch sticking out. And you can clearly see a shadow on it. So when this hood goes down, that's why it's hitting there. Obviously I got it working. But yeah, it's hitting that stick out of Bondo. Also, the hinge isn't perfect, but if that wasn't there, it would have a better gap. Now let me see how bad I did. Good news is no spare tire and the horn thing's missing. So if I screw this up, oh shit. That's why your hood flew up, Timmy boy. There's no safety latch. It only has the dongle. And I don't know why we have 3 slits in the hood, because whoever did the bodywork bent it. Yeah. My amusement. Slit. He fudged it. Again, that's not right, because you don't have a secondary. All right. Let's see the old hood pop. Yes. It's definitely not perfect, but it opens and shuts. Yeah. If it doesn't latch, it just goes whee. All right, now let me do what I was doing and wire this fuel pump, and you'll join me in the back of the car. I'm just going to tie into whatever circuit I can find here, send it so I get 12 volt to the pump, and we'll go back here to tune some things. Get rid of the filter, get rid of the filter goes away, pump goes away. Probably going to run a new line, because why the heck not? See what this thing sounded healthy. I don't think I need to do valves. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, all right. Both doobly-doos are attached. The ground wire, fuse block up here, down there. It's got to turn the key and see if that thing will come alive. Really, I could just jump the back, but I mean, why? Do we have a pump? Yes, we do. Perfect. Wired. Also, I looked at the brake light switches. They are indeed not having a good time. Both of them are leaking. That would be the reason he'd be adding fluid to the master. What else? We got 10. We're 10 o'clock at night right now. Close it up tonight. Tomorrow we'll finish running the fuel line. Yeah, these videos, you can't see me, are hard to edit when you can't see me. Anyway, for my hour videos, you're not seeing the other 3-4 hours I have just screwing around, like with the hood and other dumb stuff I have to do. Draining fuel tanks. Yeah, you get the easy, short version. I get to have to live it. Well, at least the hood's hooding. Fuel pump's chugging. It's got to run a line up to the carb, and then figure out the engine. Hopefully it's simple enough. Excuse me. Hopefully it's simple enough to just basically shove an electronic in there, do some tuning, and call it good. I don't know what this carb's at. It looks like I mean, it's a cheap one. Don't get me wrong. I run them, but it's all on what kind of cheap one this is. There are varying degrees of garbage, I guess is what I'm getting at. Let's get back to gripping and ripping this thing out. Fuel system wise. Get the pump out of here. The fuel line is super loose, doesn't matter. Talking about the hard line. Doesn't matter because it's going away. And we're also going to replace, or I'm going to replace the soft line back there behind the engine. That comes out of the frame horn. I want to get this thing out of the way. Snip that wire long. And we'll cap it. Oh, that would have been great. And anyway, it's crushed. All right, let's see how they installed this. Excessively long ratchet. It's nice to know it's nice and loose. That was easy. Trash. This is why we use M6, guys. Or 8mm heads. Because you can get a ratchet on them. It's a decent transfer pump if I want to use it for something. Yeah. Body mount pads. Judging by the size, under the tank. Or the front on the horn. I could also be wrong. All right, let me get that tippy thing off. Left it over here. Also, flashlight. Get this guy off. We're running all new lines, so I don't try to save anything. Cutting hose is so much easier than just trying to get it to twist off of a bob. All right. Let's see. Let me go under the car, run a new soft line, from the horn to the pipe, and then I can run actually, let me just run a hose. How the hell do I want to do it? Yeah, yeah, we'll do it that way. I'm going to run a new hard line as much as possible. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that. Main reason is cost justification. I just got to force fitting on, or the hose clamp. Not really force, just gently persuade it to go on. Clamp. Stay. This. Give it a little extra length clip. Oh yeah, there's a... What the hell is that going to? There's a fuse in here, and it's popped. Don't know what it's for. Also, don't care. If the car works, it's going to stay as it is. All right. New fuel line from the engine. Zippity-doo-dah this on. Installed. See if I got a clamp just to run in there, so it doesn't look like I'm a complete, derelict of doing things. Or make it the appearance that I actually care. At the end of the day, I'm saying this car's a flipper special. Or at least a flip car, which is true. But also, at the beginning, evening of the end of the day, it still has to leave with my my name on it. And if it's not right, I'm not going to do the work. So yeah, I'm joking around or whatever, saying it doesn't deserve this. All cars get the utmost attention. It just basically is the over and above gets a little shorter. Or the desire to do said over and above gets a little smaller. Nutshell, if someone buys this car, I would be comfortable telling somebody that it's safe to drive. Did it again. At least it was a 30-second clip. I got to remember to turn off recording before I clip you guys into your harness or take you out. Anywho's and ways. Fuel line's in. Up, whatever. There's heat shielding or heat insulation that goes. I install above the header. Hopefully calm down the vapor lock. But one thing I noticed was remote oil filter system. Problem is this line is, well, barbecuing itself on the header. Oop, there's my finger. So yeah, we're cooking it. So I got heat shield coming for the exhaust. Thought I had some. I don't. Not really a typical repair I do or look for. So that'll be addressed, but it's not going to hurt running the engine, temporarily to run the engine. I'm not going to blow through, I guess. The hose feels okay. Probably going to need to be replaced in the future, but that's at new owner's discretion kind of thing. It's not touching now. Before it was like really tight up there, but yeah, there's some air gap. It's just not, I'd say, what I would personally like. Also, if you guys rebuild engines, use the damn ones with the drain plug. You don't have to pull the strainer every oil change. Or at least, I warranty it, but you don't. All right, let me get this thing down. Get some fuel in this thing to test for leaks. And while I'm doing that, I'll change out the electronic ignition. So give me a minute, I'll be right back. I need a flathead. Good thing I have one right here. All right, throttle cable tight. Off choke, it goes off choke. That's what I want, obviously. If it didn't do that, we'd have problems. All right. Let's twist this pig off and see what happens. Let me get my timing light real quick. Gosh, you're gonna go in timeout if you don't shut up. Let's try this thing. There's about 5 gallons of gas in here. I didn't even check if it was leaking. I don't smell it, so that could be a good thing. Probably didn't even make its way into the filter. It did not. So we'll find out if it leaked. Well, the tank part of it doesn't leak. All right. We might still have fuel in here. We might not. I don't know. But we have an electric pump. There we go. Picked up fuel. I don't know how it picked up in my mic, but it went from to doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. So it's fuel in the carb. Residual. Let me check that line. It's not blowing down the float bowl, so that's good. Both lights are on. Pump sounds happy. Or it's running anyway. Let's see what this thing has. That choke timing's way off. I don't like the carb. It has a really, really dumb low idle. Timing's pretty spot on to where I set them. Right about 10 degrees, about where I set these things. I say good. Restart. On the button. Oh, does that gen light go off? Yes, yes it does. All right. Gen light goes off. All right, let me bring you in real quick and let me show you why, because I think I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but the customer said the car had like a lag to it or it was surging. Hey, that's why I wanted to replace the distributor immediately, but again, I've never worked on this car. Let me show you what I saw. All right, if you recall, maybe I have it in the video. Excuse me. For startup, I marked where the distributor was. That red mark on the distributor that I put on the shaft was centered of the red mark down there. Well, I'll see if I can see, was centered with the red mark on the ring. There we go. Centered on the ring is 10.5 after top dead center. It's the wrong 10. That's why when I initially flashed it, it's like, oh, it's exactly where I put it. Till, he said, my timing light, get at Harbor Freight, same one I basically always use. Knockoff brand of my, Innovtech? Innovtech? Exact same gun. A Nova. Anyway, I kept burning those things out by dropping them. That these have warranties. And I can get them today. But anyway, set it to, 32 degrees full advance of what I was running or what I wanted to run. And well, the pulley was not showing me that. So, move the distributor, get it to where it needs to be, number-wise. So basically TDC. When you dial up, it'd say, the 0 mark, got it on 0. And you could hear as I was turning the distributor, the engine was picking up in revs because, well, it wasn't running so far screwed up, lack of better terms. So this is solved, or at least fixed. What else? Button it up. I'm still waiting on, I got one brake light switch in right now. I'm waiting on the second one. It was supposed to be here today. It apparently got delayed. So I only have one switch. When I get switch 2, we'll throw them on, throw them in, bleed the system. And that's the only reason I'm going to bleed the entire system, knowing that master cylinder is empty. Bleed the entire system down. Make sure there's no leaks. Make sure it's working properly. And then I don't know if, again, I'm running weather. And I know actually this guy is going to be out of town. So I kind of have a little bit of a reprieve on the car to do wiring. Or the car will be mechanically fine and he can not do wiring. Not going to hurt my feelings if he doesn't. That's between you and me and whoever else watches this video. But fuel gauge works and yeah. I mean, really to do the wiring, all I got to do is I got to run 2 signal wires to the back and tap in for power. It's not really a lot to do. It's just, well, I got to run wires. The gauges are in the car already, so I mean, that's the easy part. I just got to connect, things to things. And honestly, they're decent gauges. I can put the sending units in for him off the block. Temp gauge, and I don't like running temp gauges there, but there's really no other option because, well, you see it's full flow. But put the temp gauge in, put the oil pressure gauge in there, and just leave it in there. And then the new owner, if he sells the car, can either wire it themselves or, well, maybe find me and have me finish this car correctly. Not saying, again, it's not leaving correctly, but what I would do and what I would recommend doing versus what is currently getting done, it is the bare minimum, I guess, for, safety kind of thing. Because I mean, the car. I mean, I'm not bashing on the car. It's just, you know, it has a bunch of good parts on it that should be represented better, lack of better terms. Pretty much going through it completely. Obviously, anything broken is getting fixed. I mean, I can't not do that. But you know, the recommended things may or may not be addressed, like dumb stuff like brake lines being, you know, pigtailed. It's not going to affect anything. I just personally don't like it. I bitch about them in my videos, but I mean, it's not going to, you know, it's not going to put you in a road, or, you know, in a hedge or something like that. You know, it needs new body clips, stuff like that, new rubber gaskets, you know, where overspray got. Maybe black out on the underside of the hood because it's silver and the engine there. Possibly get new hinges. Like I said, there's a bunch of work that I would personally recommend to a customer to get done to the car, but I know that it's not going to get done to this car as I have it. But mechanically, it'll be sound. So if anyone does buy it, they'll at least have a I would say, a pretty good running, driving car once my hands are off of it. Over and above work, obviously, you know, would be on the want list, not the have. Basically, I'm doing the need list, not the I want list kind of thing. I'll recommend the stuff, obviously, but it's probably not going to get done. I don't know. I'm rambling. Brake light switch, I mean, they're not here right now. It'll be, yeah, there's the right carburetor. Probably tomorrow morning, I'll shove them in. We'll bleed down the system and maybe take this thing for a rip, I think. Because I can wire later, I guess is what I'm getting at. I don't even need the car and the jacks to wire down, or on the lift to wire. I don't know, rambling. Don't even know if this is going to make the cut. If it did, I don't know how much of this ramble is going to make the cut. I'm waiting on parts still, basically. I'll be back. Guys, change of plan. We're going to get to that heat wrap in a second. What I want to do is start getting ready to wire this gauge in. So that means I have to put in the T-fitting, the oil pressure, doobly-doo. And connect everything. Well, I have to put in the T-fitting, oil pressure sender unit, and the light thing. I'm going to keep that because it's still good. Put a little goose on this. I did take it with me. Ooh, that would have sucked. Stay. Because I don't know if I have a spare. I think I do. A little bit of goo. Again, they're MPT fittings, so you shouldn't even need to goo them, but I like to. A little more goo. You use Teflon. If you use the goo, just FYI, because I've seen people, and it goes to Teflon too. Oh, with the goo, don't put a lot on. You don't need that much. And also, if you have a pressure sender or something, don't get it in the don't get it in the tip. Don't get it in the hole. You will have a bad day. And snug this, you know, 1/16 of a turn at a time. There, like right there, I tried to move the T. Everything's tight, aligned. We'll be good for whatever I need to do. I can't read those symbols. Like I said, you get a little more freedom with this one because you can actually actively see the threads. But I need to orientate those connectors so that I can get wires on them. right there. Nothing's touching anything. Everything looks good, and I can get wires on the sensor. All right, back down below. I thought the camera died. To this heat wrap. Focus, please. Thank you. You've seen me use this stuff before. It's just heat wrap. All I'm going to do is come up with a random length that I think is going to work. Chop it some. Put around a hose that is being a pain in the butt. Easier said than done, apparently. Come on. There we go. Wrap her around. There's Velcro. Just Velcro it back onto itself. I like to rotate the Velcro so it's down. So there's one. We'll wrap both. There's no sense in just doing the one. I'm here. Here. Again, just put it in, index it down. And then for the actual exhaust itself, I have 2-inch, which is a little overkill size-wise, but is what I can get today by ordering it last minute. Same thing. Take a length of it. Cut it. This I will have to band. But same thing. Wrap it around. Connect that. And I'll get some bands. Like I said, it's the wrong size for this header pipe, but I mean, it's, you know, it's big. You're obviously, you'd rather have a bigger size than a smaller size, but I just want to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere, obviously. Put that on, get my little clampy do, try to wedge it in here. Because I'm dumb and I put it in the wrong orientation. Come on. It would help if I had the light on this side that I could see what the hell I'm doing. Get in the jaws. Please and thank you. Thank you. Give it a couple suckies. Boop. Back it off some. Give it a clip. Bend that tab over, and that's good. Right. I'm already screwing up. I want the tail to go this way. Like I said, I'll probably do the electrical. I might not even do an episode for the electrical. It's running 2 wires now at this point. Tapping into the fuse block and running 2 wires. Watch. Basically, if you're curious on how to run gauges, you know, so and so forth, wire them in. Watch the build out of the Ghia. The 2 gauges I'll be wiring are 2 gauges, well, different. The two senders I'm wiring back there, temperature and oil pressure, or I wired on my car. I have a different sender. I have one that taps into the bottom of the block, but the wiring's the same. You need basically 3 wires: a ground, a power, and a signal wire. All right, wrapped, and then just this part of the header wrapped. So they shouldn't be doing melty anymore. I am going to recommend replacing them, but like I said, because this is just getting for saled, not by me, but by the current owner. I know it's, I know it's not in the budget. Is it safe? Yes. Is it going to blow anytime soon? I don't think so. Otherwise, I definitely do it. But as it is right now, we're calling this thing done. Now it's time for a road test. Well, not right this instant, but in a few minute instance. I'm going to actually run this thing up and see what it does temperature-wise. Let's see what a cold start does. I got to put wheels on it, and we'll take it out for a rip. Pump, high choke. Get some stuff out of the way. Contact. I can live with it. Starts, runs, we'll see if it drives. Got to reconnect the switches, the brake light switches under the front. I'll do that tomorrow before I put the wheels on, and before we take it out. Obviously, I just want to make sure that it stays pressurized and we don't have any leaks in the system. I don't think we will, but, just crossing my T's and dotting my lowercase j's. So, what else? Clean up a mess, and, yeah, join me tomorrow afternoon when I get back. I'll just go for a quick drive. Well, by quick, it'd be my standard test drive. But I'm not trying to find any more faults than I need to find, I guess. So squeaks, rattles, something that's going to come up that I know that it's not going to get addressed. I'll disclose, but we'll see if I'll pass that, if that happens. Like, this thing doesn't have an engine gasket on it, or missing tin work. So it kind of needs those. But anyway, join me for my next ramble. Next ramble, but different. I'm just going to pull the wires. I'm going to wire in the gauges. So hopefully tomorrow I'm going to have a fully functioning complement of gauges. But anyway, you'll still join me in the car. But if you're wondering what happens to the wiring video, unless I get a weird development happening between now and test drive, the car will be wired. I just don't. It's running 2 wires from the front of the car to the back. The car's annoying. All right, I'll be back. All right, guys, closing out the episode on the Ghia, and I think I screwed up. Not with the car, but because I'm an amazing YouTuber. I have the drive video. I just got back from the drive, and well, I'm not sure because I haven't edited this yet, but I think I forgot to turn on my mic, or it didn't connect. I only noticed this because, well, when I went to check the levels on the big camera, it wasn't on. Yep. Hopefully that's not the case, but if there's no drive video to this, well, it runs, it drives, literally just got back. Car drove great. Few things I noticed with the car that I absolutely hate. Shifter, it's absolutely terrible. It's just bad. There's no other way around it. It's not the linkage. It's just terrible. Everything else, engine has a little bit of a bog to it, but the problem is I know I'm out of money. I would like to say to be able to fix this car any further. Is it going to be reliable and drivable as is? 100%. The brakes work, the engine works, obviously fires right up. Fuel system's safe. Everything on the car functions as it should. Now, do I think it needs more work? Yes. Do I know more work will be put into it? Well, if there's a part two, maybe. But with that said, this car is as good as I can possibly make it with having my hands shackled. And obviously not everybody has a open checkbook when it comes to service. But with that said, this car, I think I said in the beginning of this video, maybe, this car is bought by somebody to resell. So you know how car flippers are if you deal with them. Bare minimum to get them out the door. Past that, fixing onto the new customer, I guess is what I'm getting at. So whoever ends up buying this car, the work that I did, I can 100% stand by. It will start, it will run. There is a little bit of a bog, but like I said, for me to go any further to get that gone, most likely it feels like it's in the carburetor, but it's a new carb. I didn't put it on. I don't know what brand it is, but it's probably an Amazon special, which is fine. I run them too. Actually, I use eBay. But anyway, yeah, words and whatnots. But with that said, close this out. Car runs, stops, drives. Everything is fixed to the caliber of what I would do if I was doing, well, the work I touched is proper. Everything else that I haven't touched, no warranties are expressed or implied on. Put it to you that way. Gauges work. I did wire them last night. Again, I don't remember if the camera worked or not, but the gauges do work. Everything's working. So with that said, crappy outro. I'm a little dejected knowing that this car has more potential, but I know I have, leg shackles on and handcuffs, because at the end of the day, I am running a business and I cannot give stuff away for free. So with that said, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one. Yes.